The other stuff is called value added.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you're adding value to the
Mm.
business. It's not showing up as money in your pocket, but it will show up as money in the business in time. You know what I'm saying? And then there's non-value added tasks. Like sometimes you gotta go get supplies or some shit like that. Like it can all be like there's in somebody's got this shit all broken down, like proceduralized. Dude, they see
Oh yeah, when you start making, when you know you can afford it, but it's like just sacrifice it for a year or two, because yeah, that car is gonna be there. But if you spend that money on an investment, that investment is gonna be paying for your expenses.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not just sacrifice? You know what I mean? Just wait another year or two to do that. Like that's freaking, that's a flex. Like not worrying about like, oh damn, I gotta cut 6 days a week to pay for it. You know what I mean? To pay for my life. Like, no, I can cut 3 days a week, and you know what I mean, still pay all my bills like that because of the investments I made.
Yeah. You gotta, yeah. Absolutely. And that money's out there.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta grab it. Whatever you got, you don't gotta be spending. You need to go, you need to be invested.
Mm-hmm.
If money's sitting in the bank, it loses value every day because of inflation.
Man, I just had an hour, almost 2 hour meeting about that, because I got used to like saving, but like once you, like what I just did right now, like invested in a barbershop.
Right.
The money that I'm gonna make from the barbershop, I'm really not gonna touch any of it. It's gonna be towards another investment,
Business.
snowball into another business or rental property, or both. Depends how you do it.
Yeah.
But like once I start thinking like that, I'm like, oh shoot. So like I know eventually I'm gonna have barbers come from Amarillo, travel to come work here,
Yeah.
because it's the only barbershop.
Right.
If I can buy a rental property, a duplex, triplex, I can give them housing to save just by living here.
Right.
That's why I'm moving back here in May. So
yeah.
like I was looking at my expenses over there. My expenses were like almost
It's bad,
3,000,
man. Yeah.
3,000 something.
Yep.
I was like, fuck. I was like, I talked to my girl about it, and I was like, I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to cut. Good afternoon. I was like, the only way I can cut my expenses in half is not living in this apartment and then not spending $300 a month on gas.
Right.
And that's either moving there to the shop or living with my parents or something, you know what I mean? And that's what I did. And we're moving here in May.
She's all right with that?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And shoot, that's already like I'm moving into my brother's his old house. He's gonna rent it to me for $600 a month.
Yeah.
Utilities is like at most 150.
Right.
At most, bro. I can.
Yeah. You can stack money now, right?
Oh my gosh, I was like, bro, I can save $2,000 a month now.
Yep. Invest it.
Invest it, and then
But then the next thing, you know, like what else can you do? If you can do this, you can try to build something else.
cause like that marketing like system, like if you know how to do it in this industry, it's the same thing. You can buy a business and plug in the same system,
Right.
and you're gonna see results from it. Just a different product, you know what I mean? Different approach. So that's why I'm like, shit. Then let alone stocks. Man, I just did a podcast the other day too.
You did?
Mm-hmm. In Amarillo. It's called Hustlers Horizon, and they're interviewing entrepreneurs.
Yeah, small business owners.
Yeah, and I got to talk on that, and I was telling my girl, I was like, man, I was kind of, because even before I got my license, that's all I was listening to was podcasts, preparing to be on you know what I mean? Like, preparing to enter the barber industry. Now I'm about to be on a podcast talking about sharing it, you know what I mean? Now it's like full circle. It's like, what the like.
That's just step one, bro. There's just more to go.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, slow down, you know what I mean? Enjoy the moment. But once you're in that moment, it's kind of like a flow state. Like,
Right.
you can't slow down.
You shouldn't.
It's like
Your
free.
moment.
I don't even notice. I was like, well, it took me at night is when I start realizing things. I'm like, free. I just did a podcast. I just did a class. I just bought a barbershop. I was like, damn, like
Yeah.
everything's kind of lining up. I was like, do I slow down? And I almost had that because I joined another mentorship,
Yeah.
and it's about that, it's balancing things.
Sure.
And he thinks of things in a psychological way. So he's like, you don't need to scale back, but you need to, because we do systems. So he's like, you need to tweak your system to where it seems like you're doing more for yourself instead of just work. So that way you don't hit it like a psychological like burnout.
Yeah. I mean, I get that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like in my like world experience, what separates greatness from like the rest of everybody else is like that unrelenting
Oh, just
determination that feeds their routine.
Mhm.
Like I was listening to a podcast with the coffee guys, and they're like, "Hey, what separates the great guys from the?" They're talking to a trainer, and he's like, "Bro, it's their consistency. Like, there's no nights off for them. They eat good every day. They aren't out at the bar fucking partying.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they train
Focused.
hard, and they show up every night for the game on the level.
Cause I did hit that. I did hit like a psychological burnout. I was like, fuck. Like when I did try to sit back and all that, and I was like, fuck. Like, it was getting overwhelming.
Yeah,
But he was like, I know. He was like, if you were to go up and do a class, he's like, would you have energy or would you be like low on energy, can't do it? And I was like, no, I still have energy. He's like, okay. So you're not burned out. You just
Right.
you just feel like it. I was like, fuck.
It's just you haven't been right here before. Like what you're calling burnout, probably a guy who's owned a business, several businesses for the
Yeah.
last 20 years, to be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's called Tuesday, bro.
Yeah. That's how we ended that podcast because they ended off with like, if you could tell somebody else trying to start a small business, that's how they start off the mentorship, is like knowing your why, your what, and how. If you don't know why if you don't know why you're doing it,
You don't know what you're doing.
you're gonna give up easily when you don't see the results. If you have a bigger why, and then you have a how or a what you're gonna do to accomplish it, and then how you're gonna do it, and then you just reverse engineer it and break it down a little bit. I talked about it on the podcast too, because they're like, what, like, they're like, how do you stay focused on this goal, on this vision? I was like, because I literally, when I first started, I have a calendar, and I wrote down on my calendar that I want to hit 100K.
Yeah.
Break it down month by month, week by week, day by day. And then now I'm like, free. There's no way I can't hit that number if I just don't do it.
Right.
Same thing with the barbershop. Okay, I wanted to open up a barbershop at the end of the year. Put it down on the end of the year, break it down, and then now I'm like, well, shoot. There's no way I can't do it. I just gotta do it.
Thing. Yeah.
And that's what I explained on that podcast. I know I helped them out too. That's the cool thing about them too. Like they weren't like Mr. Know-It-All. They were,
Humble.
yeah, they were humble. And,
You should keep that going, man. That's good marketing.
the episode drops Monday. Probably send you that link and see,
Yeah. That's good.
check it out.
Send it to me.
But not only that, bro, the people that own it, the host, he's a marketing guy. He's gonna be the sideline reporter for Venom, Amarillo Venom.
Alright.
So eventually, I know he's gonna be in a bigger place.
Yeah.
That's a good connection to have.
That's a good number. Yeah. Good email.
The co-host, he owns a construction company, so he knows contractors, he knows realtors. If I want to do a big because he just bought a commercial property and suites, and he just told me after the episode, like, shoot, whenever you want to come out here, you can buy this from me. I was like, shit, man.
Perfect.
Just made it
Yeah.
easier on my end.